Well, hello everyone, it's Tarot Reiki Deanna, and as promised, this video is going to be about astral projection and astral travel. So, I've been reading a book about it, and I experienced it for the first time around 7 or 8, where I was laying in bed, and I remember just looking down upon my body and kind of freaking out, and then feeling like I just went back in. And I just thought it would be really fun and interesting to talk about that today. So I'm going to go over a few things, and then we're going to do an exercise. So astral projection is the fourth dimension. So right here, right now, we're in the third dimension, and then the next dimension over is the fourth dimension. It's the unseen realm, and a lot of times if you just go ahead and put your fingertips out, it's considered to be right there. This is where thought forms exist. This is where mental images can take a life of their own. And this dimension can only be seen when your third eye is open. So if you don't have your third eye open, then go ahead and do my video on third eye activation and clearing. And if your third eye is open, then the fourth dimension is going to really be shaped by your consciousness and where you're vibing and your frequency. That's why you hear so many times like, check your vibe, what's your frequency? You can't fake a frequency and that sort of thing. You know, or if you're like, hey, I believe I deserve better, and you're saying that, but you're not actually believing that, and your subconscious is like, no, I don't, then you're not going to receive better. So this is where you really want to tune in to how you're feeling and make sure that you're vibing as high as possible with your frequency. So we're gonna go over 5 things that I feel like are important about astral projection. Okay, so number 1 is what you think about here manifests instantly. So if you are thinking, gosh, I hope this person doesn't show up, and then they show up. Okay, so this is why in the third dimension, we're really practicing and learning about energy and our power and the power of our words and you know, our subconscious and what it's projecting. So instantly, I think that's amazing. Just take that in. All right, so number 2, dreaming. We all dream. Some people remember their dreams, some people don't. Some people see everything as if they feel like they've lived another life in their dream, or colors and people, and some people, they just say, you know, I just feel like I was asleep and it was dark and I woke up. So which one of them are you? Dreaming is a natural part of astral projection. So if you're wondering about astral projection, think about your dreams. Okay, you might want a dream journal. What's the dreams trying to tell you? Number 3, your frequency, like I just said, determines your experience. I mean, this is really true in the physical and the 3D reality, but this is also true in the fourth dimension and with astral projection. So if you're feeling low vibe, and if you're afraid of what you're going to see and your third eye is clogged up, or you have a lot of fear-based programming, then in the astral you could see, you know, shadow figures, darkness. You know, this is the place of nightmares and stuff like that. Just the negative stuff projecting out and around you. And if you're high vibe, then you're going to see positive entities and positive polarity types of things. So this is why they say don't go to bed angry, right? Try to clean it up before you go to bed, because you don't want to go to sleep and your body's in the astral realm, and next thing you know, you're seeing somebody else that's angry because they're a match. They're a match to that. So in order to get really good at astral traveling, you need to sharpen your perception, raise your frequency, and practice with your third eye, okay? Awesome. And we'll go over that in another video, like different ways to continuously work on your third eye. And number 4 is mastering astral projection helps you to unlock hidden dimensions of consciousness, and this is going to help you gain access to realms beyond the physical world. So those of us that can read the Akashic records, those of us that are able to go to the angelic council, those of us that go into the underwater realms, or the underworld at times is needed when you need to shed something and leave something there, or there's just so many different places and dimensions, like the violet flame with Saint Germain, that sort of thing. So those of us that have an open third eye, and we've worked on it and cleared it and maintained that frequency, are able to see those realms. And what else here? So anything in this realm it's really limitless. So I feel like the realm of the astral plane is where time and space does not exist. And so, like I said, your mind will project things, and it's for you to be the observer here. And it's so important that you overcome fear. So if you're like, watch a lot of horror movies and then you go to sleep and you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I want my third eye open, I might see scary things. Well, think about what things are you digesting, not just eating, but what are you digesting on TV? What are you listening to? Are you listening to heavy metal all the time? Are you watching horror movies all the time? Are you watching crime? Are you listening to the news? Like, do you have it plugged in all day long? This is why it's so important for you to take breaks from those things and listen to higher frequency. Listen to the whales song, the sound of the ocean, grounding your energy, spending time in nature. Or if you're to watch something on TV, it should be uplifting, maybe learning about channeling, or, you know, watching how the sea turtles lay the little babies and they go into the water, or something like that. So you really want to make sure of what you're digesting and what you're, you know, focused on, what you're reading about, what your mind is on. And if your mind is always on the world events that are on the news, as you know, the news is programming, and it's programming you to stay in fear. So fear, man, it really can pull your soul back into your physical body. So like I said, when I was laying down, I was a kid, I didn't really know what was happening, but I got afraid and I looked down at my body and I was like, ah, and as soon as I got afraid, I went into my body. So a similar story is like when, you know, Jesus is walking on water, and Peter is like looking at him, and he's like, you know, you could do this too. And he starts to walk out, and he's looking at Jesus, and then next thing you know, he starts to sink, and it's because he's afraid, and he's in his mind, and he's thinking, how am I walking on water? And then Jesus was like, focus on me. So when he focused on him and he focused on his faith that anything is possible, right? Then he was walking on water, just like Jesus did. So, all right, number 5 is we're connected from our physical body to the astral realm via a silver cord. So the silver cord is a link between worlds between your astral body and your physical, and it acts as a tether. Okay, and it's my understanding that if the tether is broken, you're dead. So when the silver cord is cut, you no longer are able to come back into the body. You're now spirit. Okay, and I also read and heard that the silver cord, I was thinking, like, where is it located, like in your body? And I heard heart, crown, and pineal gland, third eye. So it's interesting how it's not connected to your root chakra, right? It's connected to the higher chakras. And what else here? Okay. Make sure, so this is something else here, so this might even be considered a bonus. You use protection. So, I can remember being a kid and feeling like sometimes I'm as if, that time I told you about, but also where I'm outside of my body when I'm sleeping and I'm, in my room, walking around, moving things around, with no protection, no, I know I have angelic protection, but I was like, I didn't really know or was well versed in what I was doing. So I want you to make sure that you are in your Merkaba, right? So, what's a Merkaba? Glad you asked. Okay, so a Merkaba is going to look like this. And it is your divine chariot. So this would be all around. So it'd be like, from your soul star down to your earth star. And it is the vehicle to take you to the higher realms. These are two intersecting tetrahedras, and they are star-like in shape, so they're twisting and energetically protecting you and taking you to the higher realms and levels, similar to what Enoch was experiencing. So when he was taken up to the seventh heaven. So before you go to bed, and this is difficult at times because people will trigger you, right? Especially when you're leveling up. You're working on yourself, you're leveling up. It's like the triggers sometimes are just like, even the level of your leveling up, just think about those triggers are also leveled up, right? Kind of like in a video game where you're like, ooh, I got to the next level, and then here's this thing that's like you have to overcome, or here's a challenge. Well, make sure before you go to bed, you just ask that you are in your Merkaba, and really, I feel like in the morning as well. So I usually make sure to envision it around me in the morning after I shower and see my chakras cleanse, and after I ground my energy into the dirt or the grass. And this is your spiritual protection from any lower negative entities. Doesn't mean they're still not going to try to get your attention, but remember, the higher your frequency, and you can't fake a frequency, the more you're going to see these beautiful things. So when people say, Deanna, how can you read the Akashic Records? How are you able to talk to the angelic council or ask for something? I'm not able to see it or sense it. Well, it's because I have protection and I trust what I get, and I trust my intuition, and I trust my guidance. There was a time where I didn't, but I do now. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was, let's say you're interested in astral traveling, and you kind of want to go in and maybe revisit the past, or hey, I kind of want to look at this from a new perspective. Okay, so this technique is pretty advanced. So I just want to share with you that what you're going to do is you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to envision a spiritual mirror in front of you. Now, of course, when you're going up into the higher realms, like the Akashic Records, or going to visit Saint Germain in the Violet Flame to get anything that's lower burned off, in the Violet Flame. I feel like I see a doorway, and for me, it looks like a doorway of stars that I go into this realm. But if you're kind of going into maybe a realm where there was a dark period of your life and you want to revisit it for whatever reason, I'm not saying you have to, but if you wanted to, you're going to envision this mirror, and this mirror in spirit. So you need to see yourself. This is you creating the mirror with your mind, okay? And you're going to see yourself using some Palo Santo to sage it. And this mirror in spirit is specifically for spiritual work. Okay, it's not to be used for anything else. And it works best in the dark, but you can utilize a candle. So I want you to be able to see or sense or place a candle behind you. And when you go in to the mirror and you want to go look at your past, or maybe you want to revisit something, this is a great way for you to travel. And then of course you'd go back in to the mirror and into your body, blow the candle out, and then I want you to cover the mirror so that nothing would want, to come in. It's a portal. Mirrors are portals. I mean, in the old days, that's why they used to cover mirrors when people died, because they were like, I don't want them coming back in through the mirror and like bothering me when I'm sleeping. And so even if you have any mirrors that are old or belong to somebody else, or if you buy one from a thrift store, you have to Palo Santo it. I personally would not buy a mirror from a thrift store. I would only, want a mirror that only my reflection and my energy has been in it. But you could take a little bit of oil and bless it. You could throw some holy water on it, clear it, or you could use the Palo Santo, smudge it. Okay, but when you're done using your spiritual mirror, to cover it up, I feel like with a cloth, and you're going to see it being put away, something like that, and then blowing the candle out because you don't need that. So you just want to be mindful of what you're doing, and you're not to use this to go and psychically spy on other people, because that's unethical, right? Just like that would be called psychic stalking. And just like when people are like, let's say they keep driving past your house and you're like, oh my God, this person won't leave me alone, that's stalking. You wouldn't want to do any psychic stalking on other people, because this is for you to use for yourself, to enhance your growth, to use your magic for yourself for good, to clear the air, raise your consciousness. And sometimes after you release something, you look at things differently, you feel better, and it helps you to rise your vibration. So that's the other thing. All right, so I did a lot of talking about what's going on, and now, and this is a very simple exercise we're going to do. It's very simple, but also I notice when I do this with some people, they get nervous or scared. So if you're feeling nervous or scared, you need to release the fear, because you need to take mastery over that, okay? All right. So what I'm going to have you do is just go ahead and lie down flat. So, of course, you've been listening to me and everything. Just go ahead and lie down flat on your bed or on your couch or something like that, a recliner. If you can recline back really good. And I want you to ensure that no body parts are touching. So you're going to have your legs out, your arms out, but you're not curled up in any way. So it'd be great. You're on your back. And then I want you to just take a deep breath in and relax completely. Yeah, just relax. Just feel any muscle tension leaving your body. You're going to take a few breaths in, exhale, breathe in, exhale. And then I want you just to see and sense that you're in a meditative type of state. You're just feeling very calm and relaxed, clearing your mind of any thoughts, desires, your to-do list, that sort of thing. And then I want you to focus on your pineal gland, which is in the center of your brain, until you feel a tingling sensation throughout your body. And this is how you activate your etheric body. Okay. So now what I want you to do, I want you to see yourself climbing a rope up out of your body. If you start to get scared and nervous, you'll fall right back into your body, okay? But I want you to pull on the rope. And then, so standing before you is your etheric body. How does it look? How does this energetic body feel? How does it look? Do you look the same? Do you feel like there's more light around it? Do you feel like maybe your clothes even feel different? So just notice it and look at it. So you're going to continue to do this exercise until you are able to just come up out of your body and look at your etheric body. And then that way, if you want to, do your magical work through the mirror, or if you want to go and visit, make sure you put your Merkaba, should already be around you. And you can even ask some angelic chaperones if you're going to go, let's say, to the Akashic Records, or you're going to visit the Angelic Council, or you're going to go, go see Saint Germain, or you're going to go visit the water realm, or whatever this is, okay? So, and then I want you to practice just gently coming all the way back into your body fully and wiggle your toes. So this is how you master your astral projection, and this will help you in going to the other hidden dimensions. That, they're not really hidden if you're able to see them and you're able to travel to them. This is really going to help you with visiting the other world. It doesn't mean for you, things outside of the physical world, It doesn't mean for you to spend your whole time out there. But if you're struggling with, hey, my soul purpose, my soulmate, grief process, or something in the past that you just can't get over, go back in, look at it from a new pair of eyes, have your angelic team with you to assist you, and then come back in, journal what you get, okay? So, good job. And if you did use the mirror at all, just go ahead and cover it with a cloth, put it away, have a place for it, maybe a closet or something. Blow that candle out, you don't need it. And if you had opened up a doorway that looks like, a big bright white door, or a gold door, or silver door, or a door that looks like stars into, another realm where you're going up, you just need to go ahead and see that closing. And then I think it would be great after this exercise, if you do it a couple times, just go get some water afterwards, hydrate, journal, like I said, and ground your energy. Go put your feet in the dirt, or go touch a tree, or go sit under the tree and meditate, because that also helps. So thank you so much for joining me today to learn about astral projection and And yeah, so good luck. I hope you learn so much more about yourself. I hope you're now feeling more confident to visit the other realms, to learn more about your soul, and have a wonderful day. If you would like any kind of assistance with this, I am a soul coach, so reach out and take care. Bye.